Hello and welcome. This stream is called De-stressing with Friends, and I decided to do it because I was going to put out a video this week, and then some things happened that caused me to have to put it on hold, and so I had nothing left. So I wanted to do something. And it also was a very stressful week, not just for me, but for a lot of people. And so I thought, hey, the best way to de-stress is to just and have a chat. And so that's exactly what I did. I called up Junk Shop and I called up my adopted daughter, Mama Atheist. And Math Pig is going to be joining us a little later. He's busy right now, but he'll come a little later.
He's on his way home. He'll be home soon.
And when he can him in. And Junk Shop, why don't we start by letting you tell people what you're up to and what you have coming?
Okay. Well, I don't normally do a lot over the weekends, largely because it's impossible to find a time when everyone and their mama isn't streaming too. But we'll be back with Improv Bible Study on Monday, and we'll be back on our regular schedule next week. Improv Bible Study Monday and Wednesday, Mental Health Thursdays, unsurprisingly, on Thursday. So that's what's in the wind for me.
Okay, very good. And Mama, what have you got going on?
It's a bionic dance on tomorrow. We were supposed to do it last weekend, but I wasn't feeling that great, and so that's pretty much it. My living critically show, but
Okay.
everything's kind of up in the air at the moment because I don't know when I'm supposed to have surgery next. It's a pain in the ass. So I don't like scheduling people, not knowing when that's going to happen. So.
So is this related to the surgery you had recently?
Yeah, the first one the one I just had recently was the trial. So, they tested it out and then they have to actually go in and replace everything. And that's a much more extensive surgery. But the thing with, they're waiting for the insurance to, say, give them the go ahead. And then they just pretty much say, okay, we have the go ahead, come in a few days and do it. That's pretty much how it goes. So it's a pain in the ass, just waiting for them to tell me it's okay, I guess. So I don't know when, it's going to, yes. Thanks, Jan. Close to my ass, it's my lower back, but okay.
Okay. Okay, before we came in here, we were having a little discussion about everything going on this week. And let's see, where should we start? There has been so much.
Yes.
I saw something on Twitter earlier today about Trump's speech to the his commencement address to the West Point Academy, and someone made the comment that it was full of racist stuff. Now, I was actually, I'm a Kaja. I'm a court-appointed special advocate. So this morning I was visiting some children, and so I did not see the speech, and all I saw was that tweet, and then I went and looked for some stuff about it, and I did find one article in the Washington Post, but didn't really find what they were pointing to was racist commentary. Does anyone know what it was that he said that caused so much stir?
What, did he open his mouth and words came out?
Pretty much what I'm thinking. It's not like he's known for his, inclusive rhetoric at all. So, but I don't know anything. He keeps doing these speeches, but he always, no matter what it's about, he brings it back to himself, and that's what I'm not gonna say we're used to the racist shit, because you can't really get used to that, especially coming from the president of the United States. But when he'll bring it back to all this wonderful stuff that he's supposedly doing, which he hasn't done, and how everybody's out to attack him. I love that a couple of years ago he got in front of the UN and said very seriously talked about how he was the best president and or done the most for the world, and they fucking laughed
at him. Yes, I
Yes.
know. That was hilarious.
They got laughs out of the German ambassadors to the UN.
Yes,
That's
so
that takes some doing.
That felt good. He didn't know what to say. He was like, "Oh, I wasn't expecting that, that response." Well, what the fuck did you like? He really thinks he is God's chosen one. What was it, like a week and a half ago? He's talking about how he has done more for the African American community than may or possibly, use the word possibly, Abraham Lincoln. As if, I don't know, which one is it, me or Abraham Lincoln? Like, come on, dude.
Another thing that happened this week, the Republican Party has decided to simply reuse their 2016 platform. They are not going to vote on a new platform. They're just using what they had in 2016. And the 2016 platform condemns the current president for his ineptness.
Yep. I don't know if they just maybe left it in there on purpose, though, because some of them were like, yeah, this guy is a total dickhead and we don't agree with everything. We're sick of agreeing with everything. But I'm thinking it was just laziness on their part. So
I think that's probably more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you having an earthquake, Junk Shop?
No, I'm trying. It's you know me and technology. Everything has to go wrong a little bit, or it's not Junk Shop's presence.
Know the feeling. We were talking before we came on about having to listen, because I have to hear Fox News all the time, and I swear to God, if I hear the words the radical socialist left or the radical socialist Democrats one more time, I'm going to fucking punch somebody. Like, I don't, there are more left-leaning news organizations. MSNBC is not the most central in the world. They have a lot of more progressive pundits and stuff like that. But they don't come out and constantly push, like call the GOP evil or anything like that. It's not these dog whistles that Fox News have that they keep just repeating over and over again. It's so fucking obnoxious. Hey, Dave.
Hello.
Hey, Dave. You're being Amanda, you're being very charitable with the use of the term dog whistle. We're well past that and into like foghorn territory at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, Lone Wanderer, I attempted to, but I am not technologically proficient, and I would love to put a child lock on the Fox News channel so I wouldn't have to hear it anymore, but
I did see something really interesting on Fox News. Somebody else had posted it, and it was an interview between Trump and a black journalist on Fox News. And Trump was telling the journalist what a fantastic president he was and how he was greater than anyone, including Abraham Lincoln. And the black journalist said, "We are free, sir."
Oh dear.
Fucking balls on him. Jesus Christ.
Yep.
I was reading an article in I'm going to go either the Guardian or the Independent from someone inside the White House that basically says they are now all terrified of telling him anything bad at all.
That's interesting.
That he can't comprehend why he's losing, and no one will tell him why. Because literally any time anyone gives him bad news now, he gets rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's and they talked about this many times, how they can't. It's not just not telling him things, but when they do have something they want to discuss with him, or they show him a report on something, they have to fucking put his name in a whole bunch of times so that he'll pay attention, because he won't otherwise. And that, honestly, when I first heard this, I thought it was bullshit, because I was like, come on, nobody is that fucking narcissistic that they would need to have their name peppered in. But not only do they have to do that, but they have to cut it down and make most of their reports pictures and stuff, because he doesn't want to read. So, and then there was somebody who said, I can't remember who it was. One of the late night hosts had mentioned how he was tweeting the other day. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning, complaining about something Fox News had done because they had bitched about something like, why the fuck is the president of our country during a time of many crises just sitting here watching fucking Fox News? Like, does he not have a job or anything to do at all? It's so ridiculous.
That was Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers, okay, I love Seth Meyers. He's pretty good with that stuff. He's very
like, why are you tweeting at 11 o'clock in the morning?
Just why?
It's what he does during executive time.
That's right.
I don't think he can read.
A little more prune juice, and he wouldn't need as much executive time.
Whoops.
Yes, I should just cut, because I don't personally watch the cable at all. I get it for them. They're the only ones that watch it, so maybe I just need to get rid of it completely. But they do put a bunch of, like Dan Bongino is one of their favorites, and he not only has his show up on Fox, but they also upload it all on YouTube as well. So they could just fucking go watch that anyway. Oh my God, with the Fox. It takes, like, just hearing it makes me fucking nuts. Jesus, it's late there, honey.
It's the lady who doesn't sleep.
Yep.
Oh, fuck, it feels like it. I was talking to two friends at once and didn't go to sleep. Admittedly, Linda is lovely and I love talking to her, but I probably wouldn't have stayed up talking to Linda had I not been talking to an old friend from who I went to high school with. So, somebody I hadn't spoken to her. I hadn't spoken to her for 12 months, and I'm like, oh crap, no, I'm going to talk to her. So yeah, I'm still awake and wide awake, which is really annoying. I'll start yawning in half an hour and then I'll bugger off. Sorry?
I was going to say, maybe we need to get you something to help you sleep.
Critical question.
What if I don't start yawning in half an hour? I'll go to bed and do some meditation and I'll fall asleep.
For most people, when they tell me they can't sleep, I prescribe a physics textbook.
Oh, no.
That wouldn't work for
That would
you.
not work.
Nope, that would
Not
not.
a chance in hell. I would sit there all night.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be the same, wouldn't you, Amanda?
Yeah.
You just keep reading.
For fun, so.
Yeah.
I would take out a law book. How about that? Huh?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that might work. Law.
Shop, where are we up to in the Bible?
We just started First Chronicles.
Right. Chronicles. All of those. That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. Oh my God.
Hey, that's good reading material to fall asleep to. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Also available in audiobook format from yours truly.
Actually, I think Numbers is the easiest book to fall asleep to.
I
thought so too until we got to Chronicles.
I'd feel bad if I fell asleep to your dulcet tones, Junk Shop. So
it's hard to fall asleep to Junk Shop reading Chronicles. He keeps swearing at it.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Well, that's what you've got to do, isn't it? It's a requirement.
It's completely involuntary, but it just falls out. There's only so much you can take.
Can I use that excuse for when I swear? It's completely involuntary.
Well, yeah, it is. I find it involuntary as well. I can't help it, and I get yelled at all the time for it. So whatever.
I screw
So I
them.
talk.
I actually realized my friend was online because I responded to one of her posts on Facebook, and it was about she was actually talking about, because she's a native Australian, so she's an Aboriginal person. She's absolutely lovely, and she was talking about the race riots and stuff and everything, and talking about Black Lives Matter. And I did this whole diatribe about fuck racism, fuck sexism, fuck homophobia, fuck transphobia. Anyone who's a bigot can go do their job at a glory hole. And she fucking lost it. She's like, go do the proper fucking glory hole. What? I'm being nice for Facebook. I'm saying Amanda's favorite thing without saying it.
Why is glory hole my favorite? Wait, what?
Yeah, you have a T-shirt with it on.
Oh, suck my dick. Okay, gotcha. Sorry.
God damn it, Amanda. Wakey. I'm the one who's meant to be tired.
How much of your Facebook is normal people?
My Facebook? Oh,
Yeah.
my family is on my Facebook.
Yeah, mine too. But my family is really mixed. Although most of the Christians in my family aren't there.
My mum's on there.
Your mum's sane.
Yeah. None of the oh man, that's not true. No, I've got friends who are really quite devout Christians who yeah, that seeing as how I just posted my YouTube site on my Facebook because I'd been reluctant to do it. They may not be my friends on Facebook anymore, but I've got to the point where I actually don't care. Some of them have already seen my Facebook, my YouTube channel, so and yeah, got upset. Oddly enough, do you know the thing that they got most upset about was my Jesus song for Sunday school. The one about how Jesus hates everyone. That was what they got upset about. Not my diatribes about Christianity. Sorry?
That was a while ago, though. I'm surprised they're
I don't know.
digging
They were going back through my catalog, and they'd watch some of the other things where I'd said things about Christianity, but that was the thing that pissed them off. It was like, how could you say that thing about Jesus? They go, it's a fucking, it's a joke. Come on.
Some people are very protective of our Lord Jesus Christ. What can I say?
Of their Lord Jesus Christ, not my fucking Lord Jesus Christ.
No.
What did
Not
you
very
sing?
minded.
Jesus hates the little children.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. I don't. It wasn't exactly that. I do think that's in it, but it was mostly about how Jesus hates anyone who's a minority.
I was thinking of that.
You should go and find it. You should go and have a look, Granny. I think it's only a couple of minutes long, and it's probably it's the video I've had the second most amount of hate on.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so what's number one?
one of the Flat Earther videos.
Really? I still think
Oddly
the Flat
enough,
Earthers are a very
the most
small
amount of
minority.
transphobic stuff I've had have been on Flat Earther videos too. I've had a little bit of it on some of the Christian ones, but mostly from Flat Earthers.
It's
But then again,
amazing
most
how
Flat
much
Earthers are
those
also
two
Christians.
overlap.
Well, most Flat Earthers have some religious bias, which is why they end up being Flat Earthers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our mutual friend Bobby is probably the exception to the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what his fucking problem is. Not a friend.
Bobby's a nice guy.
No, I didn't say he wasn't a nice guy, but when it comes to actual logic and reason, he's not.
All there?
Yeah, I'll leave it at that. This is why I don't deal with conspiracy theorists. Fuck them. I don't want to keep screaming at people. I scream enough a day, usually every morning, to fucking answer his own questions.
So when is MathPick getting more on?
When is MathPick coming to? Is that what you said?
No. When is he getting more conspiracy theorists?
I don't think he's. He probably won't. Not for a while, at least until he gets bored or something.
He should get Jeranism on.
What is that?
You are a bad person.
Wait, me or her?
No,
Me.
Okay.
suggesting that individual be inflicted on our poor long-suffering friend.
Jeranism's not that bad compared to
He's
some of the others.
fucking idiot.
He is. I will grant you that he's a
Ding.
fucking idiot. He is a fucking idiot, but he's not He's not an obnoxious prat, unlike some of the others.
I mean,
Yeah, there's also the fact that he's not for real.
Oh,
I mean,
no,
nobody-
he's a complete
really?
scam artist.
Nobody
he's a fucking
really thinks
scam
he's-
artist.
Yeah. Okay, good. So it's not just me.
No, it's not just you. He definitely knows the world is round. He's just in it for the money.
Yeah.
And they do. They get a fuck ton of money for it. The big ones like Jeranism and Mark Sargent and that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't agree
not a
with
fuck ton, but
platforming these
comfortable.
kinds of people. This, you know, I understand that there are people out there that have different viewpoints, different beliefs, but when it comes to just blatantly not, you know, accepting real facts and data and logic and science and about this incredible bullshit because of something they learned on some random YouTube channel, what is the point of platforming that? You're giving them a voice to more people that doesn't need to be had. So,
On the other hand, if you can,
I understand your
there
point.
there is definitely a case to be made for if you've got people saying stupid, dumb, ignorant things, you need to challenge that. You can't just let that go. You can't let it slide.
Well, and especially when it's like AIG, because not only do they say all that stuff, but they market it and they're selling it and they're feeding it to the rest of the world, and that's why I
Well,
go
they're
after
feeding it to their
AIG.
followers, but that's exactly what flat earthers do too. So the
But
big guys
AIG
like Chisholm and that have not the same as it. They're like a small church in and of themselves with the followers that they have for their videos, and they milk those people. They suck them fucking dry.
I would submit that there's a difference, though, in that the flat Earth community is a little more insular. They're not as big on the proselytizing, whereas the AIG, as Granny said, they want everybody in the fold. The flat Earthers don't give a shit whether you're on board or
I
not.
think that's only a problem of scale.
What you're saying is that AIG is a better business.
Yeah.
I would argue yes.
And I mean, if you go and listen, if you get somebody like can't get his cock rising, or I won't say his actual name because he always fucking shows up in streams.
He never shows up in my streams.
Oh no, this is not.
when we want him to.
This is not Darth Dawkins. This is an entirely different person who is a complete and absolute asshole.
Okay.
Dave knows who I'm talking about, I'm sure.
Really?
there are a lot of assholes.
There are.
I'll type it.
You gonna finish that statement or?
Yes, I am. I was just typing it so you guys know who I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm not.
So that's who it is. Yeah.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. That guy has had at one point over 600,000 subscribers to his channel.
Wow.
Y'all were in the wrong business.
Proselytizes to those people and makes money off them. He has his own website similar to who's that idiot who got banned from YouTube?
Steve
Alex
Anderson.
Jones.
The guy, Alec Jones, yeah, he's not at the same level as Alec Jones, but similar sort of thing with all his videos and things. He's one of the main starters for like transvestigations and crap like that. And if there's a dumbass religious type conspiracy, he's in on it, and he has made a fortune for himself from it. And he is a horrible person to boot.
Well,
Legitimately dreadful person, but they make money from it. They do the same proselytizing that things like AIG do. Yeah, they don't have exactly the same reach as an AIG, but they're more fringe as well. But the people they encourage in for that fringeness throw money at them.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with us challenging them. I probably agree with Amanda that we actually having them on your show to talk about them is try and talk seriously with them is a waste of time. But
What annoys me more about AIG over the other ones?
What?
The fact that the rest of the Christian community protect them.
Yes.
Oh, that pisses me off.
They are getting
by-
ready to. They're getting ready to start a paid TV stream.
Yeah.
Oh,
Paula
fuck
J
off.
offered his content for free.
Oh, really?
I like that.
If you're good at
Oh, that is-
something,
that is
never do it
awesome.
for free.
Now, if he'd offered that to Eric, Eric might have actually taken it.
I feel sorry for Eric a little bit.
Oh, well, he was totally indoctrinated by Daddy, probably amongst other things.
But again, his dad has done that, and I am convinced he doesn't believe.
Yeah,
I don't think Kent believes in the slightest.
yeah, but Eric does.
Yeah, I agree. That's the impression I've gotten.
Eric believes his stuff. Yeah, Kent's a con man through and through.
And he doesn't flush the toilet.
Does he not?
No.
Oh, that's right, because he took his portable microphone with him, didn't he?
No, this is actually going way back. He was
Yeah.
a guest on the Ali G show back in the day. And
Was he?
yes,
Oh my god.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. I just happened to cross it down some kind of YouTube wormhole a little while back. And Ali G came out and was going on and on and on about how somebody had not flushed the toilet back in the green room. And everybody vehemently denied it except for Kent, who just sat there and didn't move.
So he likes to leave one in the pool and then not get the pool cleaned.
Apparently. Allegedly.
Allegedly. Allegedly. Allegedly, Kent doesn't like pool cleaning. He also doesn't like having lifeguards, apparently, too.
Why do you say that?
Damn!
You don't know about that, Granny.
Oh, no.
Oh, shit.
Who wants to? Is that really appropriate for here?
No, not really.
No, not
Okay.
really.
No,
We'll talk about
I
it
will
another
tell you
day
later,
then.
Granny. We'll tell you
Yeah.
later.
Okay, sounds good.
Mm.
So
No.
anyway, going back to distressing.
Yeah.
I was distressing. That was
Yeah,
good.
I know. I'm just trying to find a
No,
phrase.
distressing,
topic.
not distressing.
Uh-huh.
I will shut up now.
Yeah, Mama had said earlier that she needed to go put some drops in her mother's eyes, and so she will be back in a bit. So what is something that was stressful in your week this week that is something you can share? Dave, I'll let you go first.
I've had a terrible week. I had to drive to Crewe, which is bad
that a
enough.
place?
Yes. When you were in the... Is it the Navy you used to get sent to Crewe? Or somewhere like that. It was always this notoriously bad place. It's renowned for having lots of railway stations, or lots of railway tracks intersecting at its point, with not actually having much there. So I had to do that on the back of 2 days of not sleeping, which has meant that the rest of the week has been completely messed up with me not being well.
I'm sorry.
Oh, and
to
the
hear that.
electrics! Oh, and on top of it, our electrics are down. We're still running on extension cables from upstairs.
Is that something for your house or your city or?
The house,
Okay.
one floor for some reason keeps tripping,
Hmm.
and we cannot work out why or what. We replaced the main breaker. We replaced lots of it, but absolutely no clue why. So yeah, not a fun week. My only joy has been talking to you people.
Yep, that's the whole reason I had the stream, because I was feeling like, boy, I sure would like to be able to have a chance to talk to some friends.
Mm.
How about you, Junk Shop?
It's been fairly uneventful, other than the kind of world stuff that we've all been dealing with and stressing over. I don't have anything personally that's been stressing me out except for this damn green water algae bloom in my goldfish tank. First world problems, no kidding.
Jen, I know this has been a terrible week for you.
It's been a shit week. Yeah. It's definitely been a crappy week all around. I mean, what? Well, as far as the trans community goes, it's been a crappy week. Between J.K. Rowling coming out full transphobe. Well, I mean, not that we didn't know that she was that already, but she's certainly showing her colours now. And the crap that you guys have got in the US with the changes to legislation that enables full discrimination. Fuck that. Fuck Trump. Fuck that orange-faced little fuckwit.
Yeah.
Sorry, I am swearing way too much on your stream.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm good with it. I was chatting just a little with a doctor on Twitter a couple hours ago who was saying, well, this really isn't going to do anything because nobody that goes into the medical profession would discriminate against people.
Well, I mean, there was a case a few years ago, and I can't remember her name or exactly what state it was in, where a young trans woman and her boyfriend at the time were in a car accident. He was killed at the side of the accident. She was really badly injured. The medical staff pulled her out of the wreckage, went to cut her clothes off so that they could administer treatment, realized that she was a pre-op trans, stood back from helping her and around her and laughed at her until she died.
Oh gosh.
What?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Where did that happen?
I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But
okay. My gosh. Whoops.
I'm looking it up now.
Okay.
Tyra Hunter. It was in 1995.
Was where?
It was in 1995. Tyra Hunter. She was African American, so there you go again. Where was she?
I'll look for it.
Yeah, Columbia.
British Columbia?
District of Columbia.
District of Columbia. Oh, gosh. She was in the nation's capital.
Yep. So if anyone's... Yeah, I'll post it in here because I just realized I don't have the chat open at the moment, which I've only got live comments here, so I can't post it. But that's the link to the wiki article about her. Yeah. And yeah... Yeah, it's bloody terrible. But she was one of the first to be reported. Her mum actually won the case against her family was awarded $2.3 million.
Yeah, but
that's beside the point. It shouldn't have freaking happened in the first place.
Exactly.
And it's stuff like that has happened since. And now that there's no protection, it'll happen again. But that legislation, the other thing that people are missing in that legislation is that legislation has rolled back prejudice all forms of prejudice in medicine. So, as a woman going in to get treatment, you could cop that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just for trans and gays and lesbians, because I've got a thing. It winds back all those protections that were given to any people
All
based on
protected classes.
on all protected classes. So
Right.
there is a whole crap ton of shit that can happen to people. It's less likely if you're not part of the LGBTQ, or if you unless you are a person of color. Because if you're a black woman of color, you might have that happen to you, or a black man of color, you may have that happen to you because of these rolls back in legislation.
Yeah.
It's a license for bigotry, is what it
Mhm.
is, and it's going to be freaking dreadful for you guys. It really is. And there's not going to be a cure for it anytime soon, because your high court is so right wing now. Yeah, even if you do manage to get rid of Trump at the end of the year, which you might not. It is. I mean, although he is really screwing himself over at the moment.
I'd say the one good thing is that he keeps digging the hole deeper, and he's even alienating the Republicans now.
Yeah. So
the voters, his base, don't care. The people in power, the GOP don't like what he's doing because they're afraid he's driving away the moderate Republicans. But Trump's base don't give a fuck. Just like he said when he first got elected, he could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot a person in the face, and they would still fucking vote for him. And he is not wrong about that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and ultimately, your problem's going to be here in that if Trump tried to go the heavy hand and literally enforce martial law in certain states across the US, he will be applauded by his base for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it will grow that base to a certain extent. So, yeah, got to be really careful. Whilst we look at it and say, yeah, this is bad, and moderates might go against him, the problem you've got in the US is you don't have compulsory voting. You've got a whacked out system with the electoral colleges, and it's very possible that a few states are just going to push him over the line.
It's possible.
A little. It's hard. Me and Junk Shop and Granny all know how fucked up our system is and everything, but just be a little careful, people from outside the U.S. saying this is what's wrong with what you're doing. Just asking you to be respectful about that. That's all.
No,
we know
I
it's
get
fucked
it.
up. I don't agree with you. It's just
no. Look, in all honesty, I don't care if somebody wants to call me out on saying that parts of your system is fucked up, because I mean, I think most sensible people realize that parts of it are fucked up. Parts of ours are fucked up too. Parts of the parts of the UK ones are fucked up as well, which I'm sure Dave will agree.
It's hard because you guys don't live here, and I know how big American politics is with the rest of the world now since Trump has been elected, and
it's not though. It's not though. Most of the rest of the world doesn't give a shit.
But they don't give a shit. But it's fun to look at and laugh at.
Yeah, that's us.
Live here and deal with it. And
we do give a shit in the fact that Trump's dangerous and he's more likely to start a war probably than any president you've had in fucking years.
It's just very easy to be on the outside looking in and say this, and this is wrong. But
but I also realize how hard it is for you guys to change anything. I mean, it's almost impossible for you to change your the electoral college system. It's next to impossible to change it, not without all the states agreeing to.
Fascinated.
That ain't going to happen.
Sweep the board.
Yeah. Yes, but even if they do that, I still don't think you're looking at a major change to it.
They've got to do something to prevent someone like Trump getting back in again.
Yeah, but the people with the most amount of power right now, like McConnell, like what happened, so they're not going to change it.
Yeah, but my point is, this is why I said if the Democrats sweep the board, the Democrats would get control of both houses and the presidency.
But
Yeah,
even when
there's-
that happens,
Everything,
us
yeah.
sweeping the board ends up with someone like Biden at the moment who is not a fucking Democrat. I mean, I will still vote for him because I will vote for whoever it is that's up against Trump. Trump is doing horrible things, but Biden is fucking Republican light. He is not, he's never going to bring about the change that needs to be had in this country. Never.
Well, unfortunately, that's why they made him the candidate. I
I
was
know.
furious at the way the Democratic Party maneuvered to make him the candidate. And they did it because they just felt everybody else was too progressive and they were going to lose too many moderates and they weren't going to be able to bring in the Republican moderates. And so, you know, the few that got fed up with Trump, and they really felt that their best winning strategy was to make it Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a pussy
Right.
move. Tired of it.
Well,
Because
the
you
problem
can
is
see
they're
all
going
the
to have
politics that went behind
they're going to have a lot of Democrats not show up now, aren't they?
Yeah.
No, I think they will still come.
No, I've spoken to quite a few people that say I won't vote for Biden, so I won't vote at all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But like,
I've heard heaps say it
what the
too.
fuck happened 4 years ago? This is what put us in this mess to begin with. Don't be an idiot. Vote. But anyway, that's my argument about it.
Part of the problem
And
is
in
the
all
Democratic
honesty,
Party
Hillary was
does
a better
not-
choice than Biden.
part of it is that the Democratic Party does not like Bernie.
No,
No.
he's actually a little bit left.
Yeah. He's actually, I've heard some people complain that he's not even a member of the party, which is part of their complaint. He did vow to support them, but I don't think he's ever actually even joined the party.
That's I can't imagine him running for Democrat as a Democrat and not being a registered Democrat. That doesn't make any sense. So I
Well,
can't. We can't vote in primaries unless we're registered one way or the other.
Okay, it's not whether he's registered as a Democrat or not, and actually that varies state to state. In Alabama, you register to vote, and you don't claim a party. You just
I
register.
find it really weird that you've got to claim a party. That is one of the
Some
most
places you do, some
insane
places you
things
don't.
I've ever heard.
Mhm.
In order,
it's weird.
not for the general elections, but in a lot of states, including Connecticut and here, if you want to vote in a primary, so if you want to go vote for the Democratic candidate, you have to be registered as a Democrat, or vice versa.
Who organises those votes?
Don't
Not the
I don't
parties, or the states, or the parties.
You mean who
See, our leadership elections for our who's going to be
deciding
our
how the
party.
voting is going to work?
No, who
Yeah, it's going to
determines-
be the state government of each state.
I find that really weird.
we do a lot of shit that doesn't make sense, but we stick with what they think has worked. So
Do you think they might get? I've forgotten what it's called. Do you think that enough Democrats will get in on a state level to get across the amendment that would neutralize the electoral college?
no, in order for the electoral college to be neutralized, it would have to be done at a federal level. It would have to go through both the House and the Senate first.
No, I thought there was already a bill that had been passed.
Yeah, there might have been in the House, but nothing is going through in the Senate that has even a whiff of Democratic flavor to it, because McConnell won't even look at any of the things that have been passed in the House.
Yeah.
McConnell runs the Senate, and he will have nothing to do with anything put forward by Democrats, no matter that it's already been passed in the House. And that is an issue as well. Giving the Senate that much power over something that's already been voted on and decided in the House. And then it ultimately coming down, in this case, to one fucking person deciding, here's this bill that's already been passed. I'm not going to bring this in front of the Senate because the Democrats brought this bill, they had originally brought this bill up. And that is fucking, there are literally hundreds of bills that have been passed in the House in the past few years that are sitting on McConnell's desk that he refuses to bring in front of the Senate merely because it was Democrats that wrote the bill in the first place. Even bills that that came down completely bipartisan, the fact that they're half Democrat, he will not pass. He will only bring forward Republican bills into the Senate at the moment. And he has said this publicly. Just like he said before the fucking impeachment, that he would be working with the president to find out how he wants this handled. This is a jury trial, technically, that the president went through. What court do you know comes down and says, hey, the judge is going to ask you, the defendant, how you want to proceed with this trial? That's bullshit. He has too much power. That is why I believe McConnell is a million times more destructive than Trump. Plus, Trump has a term limit. Even if he is elected again, he will be gone in 4 years. McConnell could stay there till the fucking day he dies.
There's also the fact that McConnell is at least somewhat organized and focused. Whereas Trump is just, oh, look, shiny. Oh, look, shiny. Oh, look, shiny. But McConnell is just laser focused on what he wants and doesn't want, which makes him 1,000 times more dangerous because he's fucking organized and he's got the whole thing by the balls.
He is a professional politician. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He is also, in charge of reining in Trump. And so he allows what he wants to push forward, that the crazy shit that comes out of Trump's mouth, what he agrees with, that's, becomes the standard. When Trump fucks up, it's buried, so, yeah.
Isn't McConnell...
All right, so de-stressing. I thought we
ranting.
We're having a rant now.
Maybe we should talk about alcohol instead.
I ran out. It's all Amanda's fault.
I said 1 glass a week. 1. Just to get rid of it. And you were like, fuck it, I'll drink the whole thing. So
I did it over 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you drank most of it the first week.
I drank over half of it the first week.
Jump Shop, what are you drinking?
Coffee.
Amanda?
Coke.
I have Diet Coke. Jen, you didn't look like you had a drink.
I don't, because if I drink now, I'll be getting up all night.
Herb tea.
Dave?
A Milo would be nice, actually.
Dave, do you have a drink?
Water.
Do you have a drink?
Water.
Oh, water. Okay.
Dave's the healthy of us.
I have lemonade somewhere.
Julie, I want a glass of wine, please. It is something I'm missing a little bit because I am shopping very little. Robin is doing almost all of my shopping for me. But Robin is 19 and can't buy me any wine.
You drank all that skooma already?
I did. I finished the skooma 2 days ago.
He's a good boy, though, for doing that for you.
Yes, he is. Yes. And I now publicly say that he's my son.
Which is so good.
Mm-hmm. Still one more person to come out to, and that is in the plans.
Cool. Oh, I hope it all goes good. I don't see why it wouldn't. There's so much support there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I understand the hesitation of it because there are just so many ignorant, hateful assholes out there. Like Kiara was talking about this morning, how her entire family just yesterday decided to disown her because she's trans. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why should it matter how a person decides to live their life, let alone the fact that science agrees with it anyway, that there are ways that the brain is, men and women have different designed brains, and people that they've noticed over and over again that people that are trans their brains are structured more like the gender that they feel that they are, as opposed to the gender that they were born with, or the sex that they were born with. Yeah, it's just bullshit.
Yes, Aunt Jerry, you're absolutely right. Oh, and thank you, Julie. I don't know if Robin is in the chat right now. A lot of times Robin will be playing a video game or doing something else, and he'll be playing the stream, and so he might be in the chat. We don't know.
Oh, no, he spoke earlier.
I saw him pass through earlier, but I hadn't seen him.
Oops. I'm sorry. What'd you say, Junk Shop?
Oh, I just said I saw him in the chat way back at the beginning, but I hadn't seen
Oh,
him.
you did. Okay, then he's there somewhere, but he might not be listening. He might be listening to something else, which is fine with me.
We had a rant. We had a bit of a rant there.
Oh, there we
he
go.
is.
Robin's here.
Hey, Robin.
Did you
We
hear us
support
talking
you.
about you, Robin?
You're nice and talk about how wonderful he is. I talk about my son's porn habits apparently just this morning. So
Yeah, you did. I forgot about that.
Did he hear?
he
hear
heard
it.
part of it from the hallway. He just opened the door and went, "What the fuck, Mom?" and closed the door. So, but he's used to it. It's fine.
When did you get to 250 subscribers?
Today.
Congratulations.
Yes,
Congrats.
thank you. Thank you.
Party time.
Yep. I have a huge hearing coming up on Friday, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to do the Destress. And so I don't know that I will have time for a video this week because I have a lot of work to do for that hearing. But I can put together another live stream. So maybe we'll do a live stream party sometime during the week.
So you could do another troll live stream, but nobody wants to troll you.
Nobody will show up. If you want the
They're
trolls, you've got to do
afraid.
something completely untroll related. That'll bring them in.
Yeah, like my
I
Star
bet
Wars
you get
stream.
trolled at the wedding.
Yeah. Looking forward
That's
to it.
that's what I'll come out of the woodwork for the wedding.
I'm sure they will. And I think I had one troll. But when Trump came out with that photo op,
The Bible.
my troll got so bold that I reported him for transphobic, or I'm sorry, not transphobic, but homophobic tweets. And I have never seen him since.
What a shame.
Oh, well.
I will admit
His-
to
Because nobody was paying attention to him.
just yeah, that could have been it. I will admit to feelings of hate toward people that hate. But in terms of hate in general, I don't understand it. I don't understand disliking a group of people that you've never met for reasons that have nothing to do with you, and it just makes me angry myself. So trolls are retarded. Just ignore them. That's all. I got that one. I got asshole 104 that came during my Star Wars show. That was fun, and I have no idea why. And he started bitching about atheism. Then it's like, why?
Well, he's a little bitch. So
Yes, he is a little bitch. He just wanted attention. So
Yeah.
Are you okay, Granny?
I think our net connection went a bit funny.
Yeah.
it's all right. We can keep the chat entertained until she gets herself back in.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know
Let's see if
how.
I don't fall asleep. I'm actually yawning now.
I want to know how Junk Shop is managing
There we
to
go.
make this
My-
video connection.
By having somebody else host it and logging in through my phone, not being dependent on my poor, long-suffering laptop.
That's just cheating.
I will cheat if I want to, God damn it!
You're not even on camera, Dave. Don't talk about cheating.
Hey!
And what's your excuse, Dave? You're ashamed of the beard, are you?
No, I'm in bed.
You can always tell.
What
when-
the hell are you in bed? I'm the one who should be in bed.
Because I'm not very well.
I'm in bed.
Because my laptop camera's broken.
You're
I would,
on
otherwise,
bed.
otherwise, I would put a t-shirt on and come on camera. The best I can do is split cam of Mia's data.
Fair enough.
My internet has been going.
Roboty?
So junk shoppy.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm an adjective now. I've made it. Made it, Ma! Top of the world.
No, I guess that mine is not great. I think it's worse lately because everybody's using so much bandwidth anyway. So we're all stuck at home. It
Yeah.
happens.
Okay, it looks like I got everybody back again.
Assuming the polls hold to, say, October, when do you think that Fox is going to abandon Trump?
Trump claims they already have.
Oh, this is, every once in a while you have a couple people on the network that will sometime and not even speak out against him. Just
It's not.
like,
they're not certain he was right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
there was that one. There's one guy that very rarely agrees with him, but won't really speak out against him. But when he came out and talked about the drug that he was taking, and he was like, "Don't do this, especially if you're elderly, or you will die." Like, Trump lost his shit. So, no.
Well,
What do you think about Trump suing or not? So him and his lawyers sent a cease and desist letter to CNN because they published that poll that had him
What the
down
hell?
14 points.
It's not even something that they did. All they did was reported on a poll
Mm-hmm.
that put him as in a losing position.
Yeah. Yep, that's all it takes.
And he, honest to God, they had to stop him from actually trying to sue the network for that. Like, okay. He can't take defeat at
That's
all.
actually dumber than Ken Ham. No, Ken Hovind trying to. That's dumber than Ken Hovind trying to sue the government from being in prison.
No,
yeah.
He seems to think that in his own warped mind that by reporting on this poll that he believes to be fake news because everything that is against him is fake news, that they're trying to shift things so where people will want to vote against him because they want to vote with everyone else. That is the best I can come up with as to why
everyone is sheep.
What?
Does he think everyone is sheep?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Because most of the people he deals with are.
Why is it I get the impression that in his entire life no one has told him no?
Because they haven't. Who the fuck tells him no?
Except apparently for Ed.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Ed, that's true.
Given that you think he thinks everybody around him is sheep, do you think he has Velcro gloves and likes the edge of cliffs?
What?
I didn't get that reference.
No, I didn't either.
Joke.
It is a very Australian joke.
Well, there you go. You're on a stream with 3 Americans. So.
Yeah. It's got to do with sheep.
Well, I got that part.
Sheep and the fact that they'd rather push back than go off the edge of the cliff.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
Silence falls.
Yeah. What state in America would you guys probably refer it to if you were talking about these kind of people?
Kentucky.
You'd have to think of the yokel backwater areas where your mama is also your cousin.
Kentucky.
North Carolina or Kentucky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what would you think what would some states suggest that they might do with their sheep?
Fuck them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I get. Yeah, sorry, took it a minute, but I got there.
Yeah,
with a little help from my friends.
Robin. That's
Alabama. Yeah.
Alabama.
Mm. Yeah, when I told my aunt that I was moving to Alabama, she was horrified. And how is Robin going to get educated? Alabama's last in education and just about everything.
Yeah. I think George is like 48th for public education, and it is shown quite well since we've lived here. It's not fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
And Math Pig, I like Wales too. I like their songs.
You like the Welsh men's chorus?
Getting back to
I
what
like the way you turn that joke back around on me, Dave.
getting back to what Julie said about that Bible that Trump was holding up. If anybody tells you that you don't know that it was upside down, tell them to just look where the spine is. You could see it's upside down because of which side of the book the spine is on.
Well, the best part about that was he looked at it and then changed it in his hand and then put it again. Put it back up. I mean, how stupid is he?
Oh my God! Is there a
Epileptic skeptic is exactly right. Alabama is the highest in teen pregnancies and the lowest in education.
How many of those teen pregnancies are, shall we say, related?
I don't know, but I do know that like 6
or to their relatives.
To their relatives.
Yeah, but I would say that if statistics hold across the country, which I believe they do, 60% of them are the religious people.
Mm.
Yeah, I love that. Hey, the people who are complaining most about stopping abortions are the people who make the most use of them.
Yep.
Mm.
Oh, I don't want to go down that path.
And let's face it, they only want to stop abortions because they want more little kids that they can indoctrinate, because it's the only way they get.
They don't give a shit about abortion. They never have. There's only a small subset that really give a shit. It's just something they've worked out that they can make divisive, that they can use a phrase like abortion is murder that will rile people up.
Yep.
Well, and that's exactly how it started.
Yeah.
It started as a political movement because when Roe versus Wade was first decided, the Christians didn't care.
Well, did you read that deathbed confession from one of the?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was
Yes.
fucked.
Yes.
And the fact that she held it in for all those years too. That's hot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, considering we were just talking about abortion and you ended that line with "she held it in for all those years," I'm a little worried.
No, there was one of the people that. Yeah, go, you explain it, Dave.
No.
Here, I'll give it. Okay, Roe versus Wade. The woman that was Roe, about 5 years after the decision came down, she came out and publicly said that she regretted having her abortion. She wishes she had never done it, and she was wrong, that abortion is wrong. And as she was dying, she gave a statement saying she was paid to say that, she was in dire financial straits, and she saw this as the best way to make money. And so she signed a contract with the Right to Life people. They paid her a great deal of money for her story. And that's the only reason she's been saying this all these years, is because she was paid to do it. And she didn't believe a word of it.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
You know you fall on the wrong side when you have to pay people to lie to make your point.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, places like the Heritage Foundation and that are all about the lying, aren't they? So
I spend every now and again I feel really terrible about my life, and I go and read their papers that they base their studies on, and it's horrific.
I told you that the Red Cross. I told you that the Red Cross in Australia make their policy decisions based on papers from the Heritage Foundation.
Really?
Oh no!
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it look legitimate. It's packaged up to look legitimate, and this is the problem. It's packaged up.
It's why they're so anti-LGBT. The Red Cross in Australia, if you're LGBT, don't go there.
That's
But
important.
they are absolutely dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that make me think we need. And I promise, I don't see how it would end up with us as a. I think you end up having to try and find an authority on an authority, but where we actually need something that verifies peer-reviewed journals is the point. Basically, that is actually a chain of authority for what is released as what is valid.
Yeah, but the people that are buying into this bullshit don't give a fuck about peer-reviewed journals.
Yeah, that's
Don't.
true.
No, but my point is that they don't. But the stuff there is presented as though it does, and the people that matter. You can't turn around and dismiss the Heritage Foundation because their sources are terrible. Because there's so many lies, and there are bits of truth in there that you are not allowed. You can't get away. You will just be seen as attacking an organization for being on the left or the right or the. It's too big. It's too much. Right? All you can do is attack it based upon what it's got, and what it's got can't be easily dismissed as it is. You're just lost in the void because there is no authority. And it's the reason that we can have the X number of scientists believe that evolution is true, and then they come out and say, well, there's these ones that don't. But we know these ones aren't an authority, but the majority of people listening to them don't, and we can't do anything to stop them because there is no system in place to do so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of the scientists that are well paid by the fossil fuel industry that have no problem coming out and saying that, climate change is not real or it's not man-made or whatever. And those voices end up being the loudest, regardless of the fact that all the rest of us sit here with our data and our facts and say, no, this is it. But they're
the ones that are talking to the whatever the hell you have that are politicians. Politicians. I was thinking. The word I was looking for there was senators and congressmen.
Oh, I know.
I thought you were thinking something much more rude. Whatever the hell you have that are politicians.
I'm going to say RMPs.
There's a shit ton of lobby money that goes into, or is paid for by the fossil fuel industry. And they, regardless of the fact that there's a tiny, tiny percentage of scientists, as I keep saying, because they're really not, but they claim to be scientists saying that it's not real or whatever, but they have a louder voice because they have more money and they have access to more people, politicians or whatnot. So it's disheartening to say the least.
Disturbing.
Yeah, Amber makes a good point. That there is so much prejudice in the medical field. It's ridiculous. You get there's racial prejudice. A black person going for medical care gets one result, and a white person gets a different result. When they present with the same symptoms, and it's sexist. Women present with a certain set of symptoms, and they get one set of treatment, and a man with the same symptoms gets a different treatment.
Although sometimes that's justified.
Yes, sometimes there is a difference.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna keep yawning on the stream if I hang around. So I might love yous all and leave yous because I should really get some sleep.
Okay, very
Have
good.
an awesome stream, Granny. Thanks for asking me to hop in for a bit. It was fun.
When is the big panel that you're planning?
That's next weekend. It'll be Saturday night for you.
Okay.
So Sunday morning for me. I will get some stuff done, but hopefully before the end of the weekend. Although I'm trying to get some other stuff done for me before the end of the weekend, and I keep getting sidetracked with family stuff. So, but I will get something out early in the week for everyone who's part of the panel, so that we can get stuff organized. But yeah, so next week's big big panel where we're going to be talking about the J.K. Rowling crap. We will probably also touch on the stuff that you guys have had in the US with the new legislation, and there's a few other issues that I want to bring up as well that will be discussed. But yeah, it's quite big. It is going to be a Gen Perspective show with Jen Aldrich and I co-hosting, and Jay from Nevermore Tavern is going to moderate it just to make sure that even Jen and I don't overtalk everyone. Although, as Dave kindly pointed out, Jay can't control me, so how's he going to cope controlling two Jens?
And this is going to be on your channel or Jen Aldrich's
this
channel?
Is on my channel. No, this is on my channel.
Okay.
Like with the one that we did today, it was appropriate to be on her channel. This one, because of the topic, is appropriate to be on mine.
Okay.
It's one of those things of trying not to talk over voices. So
Okay.
so it makes sense where it is. But yeah, it should be great. I know you're going to be part of it, and so is Robin. So that I'm so looking forward to that. We've got a lot of cross representation from people around the world and different areas, so it should be good and probably absolutely insane because so many people. I think we're probably going. I mean, in the group for organizing it at the moment, there's 18 people, I believe. Not all of these people are going to appear live. Some of them are having pre-recorded messages that they want to play during it. Mm-hmm. So, but I think the panel will probably end up being about 12 or 13 people. So that's a pretty big panel to have to work through. So, but it should be good.
Okay.
You're in it too, right? You're in the group, aren't you? Julie was going to drag you in. Yeah, you are.
Yes, yes. I'm just y'all know me in messages. I'm not good with them, but I've been trying to keep an eye on it.
No, it was just I knew that Julie dragged you had brought you in when you were up and everything because I hadn't actually pulled you in on that. So I was like, "Are you in the chat or not?"
Yeah.
I was scratching my head on that. Anyway, you guys have a great stream. Yep. Have so much fun. Love you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So good to see you.
Thanks for coming. Okay. Hey. My internet looks like it's frozen up again. But there we go.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right. I'm going to start using it before long. It's going to catch on. You watch.
Yep.
You know I love you, Junk Shop, but it's
I know, and it's completely valid too.
What is that look on your face?
Me? Oh, I've got the chat is up on the laptop, which is on the other side, and it's just outside of like my good vision range. So I have to sort of crane up and look over. And
well, you need the reading glasses to go along with your house sweater. It'd be perfect.
Fine. Better.
Wes, absolutely, we will take questions.
Did Dave put you up to this?
Nope. Well, go on.
Well, for me, definitely, I would prefer to be a fish on the bottom.
Yeah, same. I want to keep my power of speech.
You want to be able to look like a human too. Why am I answering this question? It's been way too long on your
because answering questions is your job.
I know. But yes, I'll keep my top half, I guess. I'm trying. You answer, Dave.
Yeah, Dave, you have to answer too.
Why do I have to answer?
Because Wes asked the question. He said I have to make sure you answer.
Thanks, Dave. Oh, that's great. I thought you were my friend.
You're not gonna meet
Friends
him.
hold friends accountable.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll go top.
Wait, you want to be a fish
on the top with human legs?
Yeah.
Why?
Weird, dude.
Yeah, I want to hear the rationalization for this.
I think I know it, but it's still weird.
It's the only way it would work.
Ah.
What? No.
How?
Expand on that.
Because
Say
now
again?
you've got gills and legs.
Yeah.
So you're having to flutter kick all the time?
I stay in the shallows. Got legs.
Is this a sex thing, Dave?
Yes.
Again, you need the Red Dwarf reference, really.
Oh, fuck off with Red Dwarf.
They did
I'm going to have to
a-
watch this damn thing at some point just so I can understand 30% of what Dave says.
No, you cannot give into this shit, though. That's the
You
problem.
can't give it to it.
If you watch it, then he's won. You get that, right? He's infected us.
Did you say affected or infected?
Infected.
He has infected us. We've caught the Dave.
See, Wes says you're going to be fishy either way. Yuck.
Yeah. You asked the fucking question.
So, Wes, what do you want to be?
Yeah. Top or bottom? Math Pig
Yeah,
says,
if you ask,
Thrones.
yeah, Dave rules. If you ask the question, you have to answer the question.
Exactly.
So
unless,
Wes,
unless you can get on to the next question quick enough.
Yeah, that's kind of anti-Dave rule. That's what he tries to avoid every time. So. And no, it's different. You can't call GOT into this because GOT is just a really good show that everybody should watch if they're intelligent enough.
Wait. You're comparing GOT to Red Dwarf.
No, I am not. Bath Pig did.
Yeah? Because Red Dwarf is unbelievably superior in every way.
I'm so glad we're over the internet right now and I don't literally have to duck and cover.
Why did you push my buttons, Dave? Why?
You're the one that was being critical of Red Dwarf.
Speaking of duck and cover, have any of you seen those old duck and cover videos that they were really movies that they used to show kids in school back in the 50s and 60s? They were
So
still showing those when I was a kid.
That's going to protect you from
Seriously?
a nuclear bomb. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They must have made
you were supposed to
desks
hide
much
under.
sturdier back then.
They were. Our desks
still
were
wouldn't have
very
protected
sturdy,
you.
but not from a nuclear bomb. That's correct.
I'm surprised they haven't made like similar videos to dealing with like school shootings and shit like that now, but maybe they realized that stuff just didn't work and they were pretty pointless. It's possible.
I think they have. Robin, when you were in school, did they ever have any videos to talk about what the procedures were for a school shooting, or did they just give you those instructions orally? Okay. She says no, they didn't have any videos
What do
for
they
that.
have now for
Sorry.
mass shooting?
That's okay.
What do they have now for mass shooter drills?
That's what we're saying. We're surprised that
They do have drills. They lock the doors. They cover the window that's on the door, and they have a place, and they're supposed to all go into one corner of the room as far from the door as possible and hide.
But do they have the video that shows this?
No, they
do it physically.
Robin says
I
just
might
talked
really
about
be
it.
stupid, asking a really stupid question here, right? Having that as a method of doing it, surely the attacker is going to know that that's what they're going to be doing, and if they wanted to maximize casualties it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Don't pretend there's any
Well-
logic behind this. This is America.
You're not wrong.
I mean, locking the door, I get, but putting everyone together in one corner.
Yeah.
But they're all
doesn't
in front of one another, so
I'm
There
fairly
is-
certain that, well, a handgun maybe, but anything much bigger than a handgun, it'll penetrate. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I'd be okay with a change of topic here. I'll tell you all the story sometime, but not right now.
I do have to say that there was a my son's school is literally like right, it's maybe a block away down the street, and we got a call one day to say that there was, there's somebody had posted stuff online, and there was a fear that something was going to happen, so they would not let us go get the kids, and they locked the kids in the school. Nothing did happen, but that was really like not being able to do anything about it, knowing the kids were all locked in the school. That was fucked up. But moving on, sorry. Yeah, knowing the age that we're in, because when we were kids, didn't the stuff didn't come up like it does now. So.
I'm sorry, I just realized the absolute arrogance of what I just said, being the only non-parent on a panel talking about I have to move away from this topic. I apologize
It's okay.
very, very much.
No, that's okay.
No,
when I was a kid, we had bomb threats, and we were sent home from school a couple of times for bomb threats. It was almost always the high school. It was, it was never the elementary school, and possibly the middle school once. But
Okay, I've got a question. Were they ever real? Did you have a reason to believe?
Never.
I'm sure it was, back then it was harder to trace who's calling, though.
Right.
We had the IRA here, and we had bomb threats, and we didn't evacuate our schools. I think they might have done in Northern Ireland. You'd have to ask Matt Pig. But we had bomb threats here, and we had the IRA bombing around here, and we didn't evacuate the schools.
I think a lot of what happened here was just people have a test, don't want to go to school, I'm going to call in a bomb threat. That became kind of a trope for a while.
Right. And all the bomb threats were from high school students that wanted to get out of school.
Math Big says in Northern Ireland, they were just so used to it. So.
Yeah.
I was going to say, to be fair, if someone wanted to get out of school and was going to bomb the school, it would be a high school student. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've been going for nearly an hour and a half now, so I think it's probably time to get it to start thinking about closing it down. And plus, I think we're all kind of talked out a bit, and maybe we're a little distressed. I don't know. Maybe we just ratcheted the stress up some more. Who knows?
Happens.
So I'll let everyone have a chance to shill for themselves a little bit, and then we'll all say goodbye. And so let's start with Junk Shop. What would you like to call out for?
Just want to shout out particularly my Thursday stream for mental health awareness. It's usually in the evening Central Time, though I'm trying to find a good time for it since everybody wants to stream on Thursday evenings. But we just got that started, and I'm having a little trouble getting it off the ground. So, because that's a topic that's very near and dear to my heart is mental health awareness.
I have to ask, have you considered not a Thursday?
Well, that's a good point. I guess I could be more flexible.
I'm really struggling with Thursdays at the moment because so many people are streaming.
Okay.
That's a good thought. We need to look at I say we, the royal we. I need to look at what everybody else is doing and not just make it about me.
Mama, who would you like to shill for?
Tomorrow on Math Pigs, he has Marie Delafont on at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then I have Bionic Dance at 8 p.m.
Okay, very good. Dave, we know you've always got your critical questions.
Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow?
No, they don't normally do a Sunday because Jeff does an asterisk stream and One Ring does another stream. I can't remember what it is this week. A Media Musing.
But they
Medium
can't
easy.
absorb the afternoon.
Okay.
So I'll shield for those two. That's
Okay.
tomorrow.
Very good. And I will do a 250 sub celebration sometime this week, probably either Tuesday or Wednesday evening. And then next week I'll try to get together a new informational video. Well, I won't just try. I'm sure I'll get something together. I have one script finished that's on hold, and I'll get something else together as well. And don't forget the wedding of Darth Dawkins and Kent Hovind is coming up soon. It was originally scheduled for this Tuesday. We are having to move it back, and I'm having a little trouble getting people to give some input on when they're available. I may end up having to make a command decision on exactly when that's going to go, but that will go, and it'll be in about a week and a half. Possibly 2 weeks at the latest is when that's coming up. So everyone, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for de-stressing with me. Thank you for the wonderful conversation, and everyone have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.